Now let's talk about special use airspace. And it's special generally due to reasons of your own health, because they're doing things like this. They're flying high-speed jets. They're firing rockets and heat-seeking missiles. They're doing machine gunning, bombing, and strafing. So they mark them on the chart, and one type of special use airspace is restricted areas. They're shown with an R and a number and letters like this, and they have hash marks going around the side, and they mark these restricted areas because they're used by people like the military or agencies like NASA, and they contain unusual, often invisible hazards such as aerial gunnery, guided missiles, those kinds of things. And restricted areas are where you're going to find this kind of activity. But you can still fly through a restricted area. Now, how can you fly through a restricted area? Well, take a look at restricted area 2503 Alpha and 2503 Delta. They're right here. And there's a legend on the chart corresponding to those. So you look up on the legend on the chart, and here you find restricted area 2503 Alpha, and it goes from the surface to 2,000 feet, and it's in effect from 6 in the morning to 2400 local. And this little cross tells you it's also in effect other times by NOTAM. So this restricted area is in effect from 6 in the morning to midnight. Now the other restricted area, 2503 Delta, goes from 2,000 feet to 11,000 feet, so it's over the top of this restricted area. And in this case, I'll let you know when the dangerous activity takes place 24 hours in advance by NOTAM. Now in either case, you can still fly through them at times other than when they list the dangerous activity, or you can get permission from the controlling agency, even if it's during the time when they normally have the activity. In this particular case, in 2503 Alpha, the controlling agency is Los Angeles Center. For 2503 Delta, it's SoCal TRACON. So you can still fly through a restricted area two ways. First of all, you can fly at times other than the times posted, or you can get permission from the controlling agency. Now, let's take a look at how they might ask you questions about this on the test. Well, they might direct you to this restricted area like 5302 Bravo, and they're going to ask you, what's going on in there? Well, I'll tell you what's going on in there. All the activity we talked about, hazards, unusual and invisible hazards, things like aerial gunnery, rocket firing, guided missiles, those kinds of things. Now, let's take a look at another area. It has exactly the same kind of things going on in there. It's called a warning area. And a warning area is exactly like a restricted area. I mean, they're doing aerial gunnery. They have things like heat-seeking missiles, things like that in there. The only difference is a warning area is out to sea in international territory. The United States does not own international territory, and they can't keep you from flying in there. So you can fly in a warning area any old time you want to. Probably only once.